Dreams an extension of our physical reality? We've all been having Gina, can you say we all have had lucid dreams lately? Well, some people don't remember their dreams, but there are those who have had lucid dreams lately, and they seem really real. There are some who have been visited in their dream state. And what if, when they had visitors in their dream state, what if it wasn't a dream? What if it really was an extension of a reality in which we live in, the physical reality? It's like an extension of like a higher consciousness, a higher knowing. It's a spiritual, it's a paranormal or something like that. Hello, Georgie, honey. Yeah. So I think there's something to these dreams because oftentimes, you could be trying to figure something out during the daytime, and you don't want to make any decision about it. And the old saying, well, I'll just sleep on it. And perhaps, when I wake up, I'll know what I need to do. And oftentimes that does happen because when you sleep, it's like your mind gets cleared. And then voila, you know what you need to do. But in other situations, you find yourself in a whole new world. And it's like the dream world. But I typed in that phrase, are dreams an extension of our reality? Um, and I think that look at the results that came up. Are dreams an extension of physical reality? During both dreams and waking hours, your mind collapses. Well, I don't want my mind to collapse. It probably collapses to waves to generate a physical reality and replete with a functioning body. You all, that is really wild. That the way they described it, um, during both dreams and your waking hours, your mind collapses probably waves to generate a physical reality. Now, how can that be? Is that like a matrix? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Heather, honey. Yeah, Brian, Georgia, and Heather. But yet, if it is another reality, and we feel like we're really there in body, that's a really hard one to wrap your mind around. It really, really is. Listen, you spend a third of your life sleeping, it says. What if your dreams are real? Well, if somebody's dreams are real, they don't want to go to sleep. They do not, because they have some really bad dreams. They have nightmares and things like that. I can see why people don't want to go to sleep, because something could happen in their dream state and they'll physically feel it or they'll see it. The conscience and subconscious. Yeah. You yourself and $2 had the same dream. Oh my goodness. Now, see, that's really, really strange right there. How can that be? Oh my. They say maybe just dreams as just dreams is a misunderstanding of the nature of consciousness and physical reality. That's what it says here in this Huffington like post. I am real, said Alice in Wonderland. If I wasn't real, I shouldn't be able to cry. I hope you don't suppose those are real tears, Tweedledum interrupted in a tone of great contempt. I bet there's really more to Alice in Wonderland than what meets the eye, because she shouldn't be able to cry in her dream state. How can you take part of yourself, your conscience, your mind, your subconscious, into another realm, you all? How can that be happening? Because it is. And oftentimes you can be aware that you are in another realm, and that realm is not the one you currently live out a physical life. You can consciously be aware that you are dreaming, which that is the wildest thing. The wildest thing, and it's like this this dimension, this real world becomes, interlinked. And then if you're aware you're dreaming, you're interacting from the other side into that. It's like looking into the mirror. It's like a portal into another world, more or less. Hello, Betty Zoom. Good morning, everyone. That's what it seems like, a portal into another world. But yet you're familiar with that dream state. You are. You're familiar that even though you may find yourself in a place you do not like. Um, oh my. We take for granted how our mind puts everything together, they say. Um, we dismiss our dreams because they end when we wake up. They do end when you wake up. How many times has someone dreamt a dream and you wake up and then you tell yourself, I'm going to go back. I want to continue the dream. And you make that conscious decision while you're laying there and you concentrate. You say, I'm going to go back where that dream left off. And sometimes you can do it. You can convince your mind to do it. You can go straight back and do it. And then you may wake up again and say, well, I want a continuation, and or the dream continues on another night, and or you have repeat dreams. It's like something is stuck on replay. Or perhaps there are those who can go into the dreamland and search out somebody in the dreamland. Oh, that's really wild. Could you imagine someone, I laughed my head off. I had a video that I did. I did a video on a person who was absolutely obsessed with me. Hello, Apple Brooks, honey. And they said that I was entering into their dreams. It was the funniest video. I wish I could find it. I read their comment. They were trolling me. They were obsessed with everything that I shared, but they didn't like me kind of like it. It was like I guess in their mind, it was a love-hate relationship with me, but I came to them in their dream state and I did something that wasn't kind of whatever. You got me aroused or something in their dream state. It was really funny, you all. Oh my, yeah. Um, I wish I could find that, you all. It was the most hilarious video that I did. The most hilarious, and mm, I just could not quit. I could not quit laughing at it. I couldn't. Um, but that's all right, you all. That's all right. If I find that video that was super, super funny, I'm going to share it with you if YouTube did not remove it. But truly, can you get into somebody's dreams, knowingly go in to visit their dreams? If you are a certain entity, a certain race of beings, and you reside in the interdimensional realm, that you have the ability to go in and out of dimensions, I'm sure that you could enter into the dream state. There are references in the Bible. There's biblical references where, who was it? Pilate, when Jesus was brought before Pilate or something. I think his wife had a dream the night before, and she said, have nothing to do with this man because of what she dreamed. She was like haunted in her dreams because of what was about to occur. And he washed his hands in front of the people about it, you all. And then you have Jacob wrestling with an angel in his so-called dream state all night long. Yeah, it's wild. It is wild. Yeah. It was wild, you all. Very, very wild. It was the funniest comment that I have ever seen on this channel. I can't stop laughing. I think I took a screenshot, and it's probably on my laptop because I thought I'm gonna save that one so I can laugh at it, you all. Yeah, it's really wild. Kentucky morning here. Kentucky farmer, Golden Arrow. I hope you having a good day. I've woke up at 4:30, went back to sleep, woke up again 6:30, really exhausted because I was stuck in a dream state, different dreams. But there is something to dreams. There really is. And that you can't really dismiss them. Sometimes, and if you have a bad dream, you ever have a bad dream and you woke up and somebody was doing something bad in your dream and you lash out at that individual because that dream really made you upset. You ever had that happen? There's been arguments with people, spouses, because one spouse dreams something that the other spouse did to them in their dream, and they wake up in a bad mood, and then you may just be sitting there, and all of a sudden they're lashing out at you, thinking, all right, I didn't even do nothing in this waking world. You dreamt that I did something? Okay. You just sit there and you just let them vent. Did that happen to you this morning, Gina? No, it happened to me a long time ago, several times or something. Oh, that is so silly. You all look at this. Can dreams be a reality? So there is a connection. Look, you got the brain. What is this? This looks like a star systems. It does. Well, Gina, why would you say that looks like star systems? It looks like different types of mathematical whatever equations in play. Well, they're probably linked to the constellations and things like that. Everything is tied into stuff. It is. There is a connection between the dreams and real life. The short answer is yes, because dreams result from the activity in our brains, which house our perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. It would be impossible to say that dreams have nothing to do with our waking lives. Now, I totally agree with that comment. You all, let me flip it around. Our dreams are a result. Read this. We got a brain here. This is what it said. It's real. I really do agree with this. There is a connection between dreams and real life. It is yes, because dreams result from the activity in our brains. It does make sense, which house our perceptions. We have many perceptions, and not all the perceptions are going to be lined up with somebody else's perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. It would be impossible. Let's make that. It would be impossible to say that dreams have nothing to do with our waking lives. I totally agree with it. I really do agree with that. Yeah, you can take your worries. You may be worrying about something, and you could take it into your dream state too. You really could. You could be having some negative feelings about somebody, something in the past, and it just shows up. You could be dwelling on it. It shows up in your dream state. And then you wake up and those feelings are still there. You carried it over. Yes, that's right, Georgie, honey. Yeah, hello. Happy rising to you, Deb Mosley, honey. That's right. It's real. Why? Look at this. Why are my dream continuations of what happened in my daytime? Think of your brain as a sponge soaking up all the experiences you had in any day. Well, that sounds like a computer. This sounds like a gathering of intelligence, intelligent gathering. Your brain's gathering up all the data in your waking life. If you think about your brain as a supercomputer, really, because that's what computer does. Every keystroke you make, everything you look at, the computer, the almighty computer is gathering data on you. It knows everything about you. It does. So your brain is a sponge, soaking up all the experiences you had in any day. Then you go to sleep, and that sponge is saturated with those neurons carrying the messages, and it continues to process those events while processing new ones. It sounds like your brain is a computer. Well, in a spiritual sense, neurons, how would you feel if when you leave this life and you go back to where you came, if you believe in the afterlife? People think there is a theory that when you die, that's it. There's nothing of you that ever exists after you die. That's the end of you. There's no afterlife, there's no nothing. Well, if there's no afterlife, if there's nothing that when you die, then how come when you go to sleep and you close your eyes and you turn off your physical body, you shut your physical body down, how come you can dream? Some people say, well, I don't dream. I don't remember any of my dreams. I don't dream. Well, then I guess you just don't remember. But there are those who feel that there is no afterlife. They die, they die. They're not worried. They do whatever they want in this world. No consequences, no nothing. It doesn't affect them. And they can dream, and then they can have dreams. So there's something to dreaming. There's something to dying, because if you got these neurons and stuff, you got this consciousness, you can think, and it's not physical. It's not. Your thoughts are not physical. They're more or less like spiritual. They are. Your memories, they're virtual. So they're not going to die, even though your physical body may die. Where are they going to go? Okay, because you cannot hold your thoughts in your hand. You can't touch them. It's like your words. Your words, I can't hold words in my hand. I can't. They're not something physical like me. I'm physical. You're physical. But the words have power. They do. My words have power. Your words have power. And when we speak them, they can bring about good or they can bring about bad. It's energy. The words are energy. They carry energy with them. Your thoughts carry energy with them, frequencies. They can affect how you feel, the things you think. Your words, the things you say, can affect you in the living world, your daily lives and those around you. It's even though you can't hold them in your hand, you can't touch them, you can't. But with your words, you can, even though they're not physical, you can virtually cause physical feelings in another person. You can with your words. They can physically feel it. Isn't that interesting? And when you think something, it can have a physical effect inside your body based on what you think. But how is that so? Gina, honey, don't go deep on us. I'm not going to go deep on you. I don't. I could go really deep, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it to you. I'm not. I'm talking about these dreams. What does turn dreams into reality mean? To turn one's dreams into reality, to attain or achieve something one has always wanted. So you may be able to do that, you all. You really may. You may be able to obtain or achieve something that you have always wanted because you turned your dreams into reality, your thoughts. You thought them, even though they were not physical. You couldn't hold them, but they became manifested in the physical realm, just like that. There's much more to this human body, much more to us than what meets the eye, but there seems to be a force out there that really doesn't want the human species, humankind, to fully wake up and realize that on a mass scale. A mass scale. So it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. Dreams, listen to this. Dreams can be so realistic that it can be hard to tell if you're awake or asleep. And sometimes we wake up in the middle of a dream And we wonder if it's possible to go back to sleep and pick up where we left off. It is possible to resume a dream, but it requires a certain focus and concentration. Now, how on earth is that possible? If How's that possible? Really think about it. Now, there's going to be there's going to be people out there who are not going to be able to focus and concentrate in order to resume a dream, especially, oh, I want to go back to that dream. I loved it. And they can't go back because they can't focus and they can't get the frequency in their body. It's all about frequency to go back. You ever had those dreams? I want to go back. But you ever had those dreams where they were nightmares and you thought, I do not want to go back there? And you find yourself going back to that nightmare dream over and over and over. Why does that occur, you all? That's this kind of, it's wild. Um, so, Gina, honey, what's the topic? Are dreams an extension of our reality? Are they extension of our real world? They do go hand in hand. There are some people who go to sleep and they don't remember anything, and I'm wondering, is your mind getting wiped during your dream state? Because they have the technology to clear your mind completely out. And then other people in their dream state, they go and to different planes, earth planes. And if you think what an earth plane is it's different like levels inside the earth, outside the earth, spiritual levels. Are we living in a multiverse? Are we living in a video game? Are we living in a computer board? Are we computers ourselves at extremely advanced species within our being and we don't even know it? Are we? You're drinking a half a glass of water before you go to sleep and the other half upon awakening. Sometimes awake but traveling, you all. Nothing on dimensions but words on swords and handle torn down the house. You had your modem turned off, Deb, honey. You all. So this is it's can you control your dreams? Has any of you ever controlled your dreams before? Knowing that you were controlling the outcome of your dreams. I have heard of people who have been able to do that. They can control them. They realize they're inside the dream, and it may be a repeat dream, and they know they got to do something different in order to keep the dream from repeating in the same method that it's kept repeating. And then they dream again and they realize, well, the dream is occurring and I got this far in my dream, but I'm going to do this right here. Like no, I'm not going to say it. You ever had that happen to where you have the reoccurring dream and you realize you're having it and you get to that, finally you get to the point to where you've got it fixed, especially if someone's after you and they can't touch you. They cannot touch you because you figured out how you can keep them away and they'll just keep doing the cycling in the dream state. Yeah. Oh, Chiquita, honey. You think someone with deep intentional thoughts and you'll either dream of them or they'll contact me. Hello, Gary, honey. Yeah, you can do it. You all put your dreams. I mean, don't put your dreams down. Everything we say, the algorithm is taking it. But if you feel like sharing, go ahead and share because it's interesting what people dream about and how they feel about dreams, how they feel about the dream state, whether it's real, whether it isn't, whether it plays a role in their waking life, and whether or not when you die, you die. That's it. Your life don't continue. Nothing about you continues. Oh, but it does. Well, you don't believe it. There are some people, they don't want to hear it. Your consciousness. There's a scripture. When you die, then the spirit goes back to the one who gave it. Yeah. When you die, boom, it just goes back. And it was a part of you in the real world. And there's too many There's too many real life experiences, say when people are on operating tables and stuff, and they like near death experience, they go somewhere when they're out of their, when they like brain dead or something happens and they find themselves in another realm and they know they're over there and they like that other realm that they're in and they don't want to go back, but then they're told they've got to go back because it's not time for them to come over here. And sometimes people get a decision when they do that with the near death experience. They have a decision of whether or not they want to go back. How can that be? And they know it. They go back into their body. They see their spirit raised from their body, and they may be watching their body, but then they go back into the body, and boom, their body comes back to life. Then that would fit into the thing that, well, you decided before you came to this earth, you signed a soul contract to be on earth at this certain period of time to do a certain thing, and that's why you're here. You agreed to come back to this earth and inhabit a physical body. Yeah, but then when people have the near death experience, they leave the physical body, they go over to the place, and they're aware. They're aware. And then they go back. So there's something to all of this, you all. There's something to it. It's not make believe. And this type of talk may be too much for people to even entertain into their minds because they cannot grasp that type of thought processing. It's not in them to grasp it. They don't allow their minds to go there because they deal in the real world. This is it. This is all there is. This physical thing. After that, there is nothing. That's why they don't go there. But there are those who go there. And it may be a lot more people than you realize. It really may be. Um, the soul of the baby came and go, and it can be a few days and a week before the soul anchors completely to the body. I believe that. I do believe that. Yeah. Yes, that's right. A one for all for one. That's right. There are souls there are people when they go to the dream state or they have a near death experience, they go over there and then they end up changing their life. They have a reality check. Reality hits them smack in the face when they cross over to that other realm and they realize what they're doing and it literally flips their life around for the better. It does, for the better. They had a wake-up call. And there's lots of stories on that. There really is. You know, it would be great if I wasn't afraid. I am kind of afraid to even venture out of even like getting on like a Zoom thing, connection with someone else, and have them tell of a near-death experience. That would be really interesting to see someone tell because there's lots of people who have it. There's lots of people who have left their body and went over to the other realm. And I'm not just talking astro travel. No, I'm talking about when your physical body, it decides, okay, well, I think I'm going to shut off and you're out of that physical body and you know it, your spirit is hovering and you go somewhere. Now, there are those who will make up stuff like that too. You got to watch out. See, that's why it's kind of iffy like that. But there are, you know when someone's telling the truth or not. Yeah. Penny Davis, honey, you've had lots of them. Yeah. But it's our dream state. It's another extension of our reality. And I would assume that you could liken it to the before you came to this earth, really. But it does. People have been visited in their dreams. They have. And they'll go to sleep and they'll have a nightmare and it shakes them up big time. A nightmare of what was happening. They may have been living a bad life and you dream and you have that nightmare and you wake up, no, I'm not going there. I'm going to stop it. And it stops them. Or it gives them clues to what is happening and they have more awareness. They really do, you all. It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. Yeah. You have dreams that warn people, but they wouldn't listen. There are people who will not listen. And sometimes, you know, you may A person may be caught up in worrying so much. It does carry over into their dreams, and then the worrying continues, or they could have. Now, I'm going to say this, my perception of reality, I know this. I know we all have different perceptions of reality and the real world. I know my perception is not going to line up with someone else's perception at times, but the other person's perception of reality, you ever come across those people when they have a certain perception of reality and your perception of reality does not line up with them? They don't realize that you don't have that same perception because they expect you to view the world through their eyes and to think about the world, how the world is through their eyes. And if you don't fit into that mode, then there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm talking about? There's something wrong with you if you don't fit into someone else's perception of reality, how they see the world. If I could, I wish everybody, well, then that wouldn't be very nice. Everybody could, well, it would be nice if we all came to the realization that our perception of reality is not everybody else's perception, that we all have a different perception at times. Sometimes our perceptions line up with others, and sometimes they don't. And I think that's where arguments come into play too. Just think you could view a certain situation one way, and you may have it all wrong, but in your eyes, this is exactly how it happened. And this is exactly the feelings that were attached. But sometimes we have a tendency to attach our feelings and our emotions to a certain situation that happened that should not even be attached to it. But because we're viewing the world in that way, we're viewing that whole entire situation in a certain way. And it could be a very negative way when all the while, it wasn't negative, but we threw all these negative feelings and emotions on that situation, and therefore, it turned bad in our eyes when it was nothing to do with that. And sometimes you could have situations that happen, and there's disagreements that occur, and you may think, well, you're the one who's right. No one else is right. You're right. And could be thinking, well, they're right. And then you got the miscommunication. This all happens because of our perceptions. It all happens because of our words or lack of words. It all happens because of our lack of understanding to be able to rationalize and think and put ourselves in someone else's shoes, and it just could, no, communication messes stuff up the way some people are not good communicators. They're not. I'm just going to say it. They're not. And it could be very frustrating if you are a good communicator, if you are a good listener, and someone else does not listen, they don't want to listen. It's their way or the highway. It could be very frustrating to dealing with people like that. And yeah, because it's disheartening. It really is, especially in relationships when you want someone to understand you and you don't know how to get the words out. There are some who don't know how to get the words out. The wrong words come out of their mouth all the time, and they get frustrated, and then more wrong words come out and they lash out, see, because they're not a good communicator. They never took the time to learn how to communicate. There are people who open their mouth. Gina, honey, we're talking about dreams. I know we're talking about people's emotions and communications and their thoughts the way that they are. It's going to show up in your dreams. It is. And your way is not the only way. Your perception of reality is not the only perception of reality. The way you view the world is not the only view that there is out there in the world. You can't live out someone else's convictions. You may feel somebody should not do this because you personally, you don't feel that you should do this, but yet you want somebody to have the same emotions, same feelings as you and don't do it too. You can't do that. You can't do it, you all. It's like, Gina, you need to talk about this kind of stuff. This is what you need to be sharing. Well, can I share what I feel led within my spirit to share? Let me share what I want to share because I'm led by the spirit. And my spirit may not be the same spirit you have. I may not see the world through the eyes that you see it. It may be totally off. See, that's the we're different at times. But in ways we are the same, but Yeah, you all. And it does. It shows up. Our views of the world shows up in our dreams. Our views of people, how we rationalize, it shows up in our dream state too. Our emotions get carried over into our dream state, and we have dreams. Our fears go into our dream state, and it does affect us in our waking world. It affects us, our waking world affects us in our dream state. It is like it said, it would be impossible. Let me do our dreams. Are they like an extension of our reality? I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna end the video because I'm already talking a lot. You're going to get Gina Honey wound up this morning. Look at this brain scan. We got some mathematical equations right here. We got a beautiful, lovely swirls on this side. And yeah. Can dreams be linked to reality? So there is a connection between the dreams and the real life. It is. Dreams result from the activity in our brains. So what have you been thinking about all day long? What do you dwell on a lot? Dreams are, they result from the activity in our brains. Your brain's getting a lot of activity when you're sitting there stressing and worrying and thinking negative because it's going to show up in your dreams, which house our perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. It would be impossible to say that dreams have nothing to do with our waking lives. It would be impossible. It would be impossible. Totally impossible because our lives, they like a mind meld you while Gina Honey is going. Hello, Michael Marcello, honey. You're gonna have to watch. Michael Marcella, honey, you're gonna have to watch Gina Honey on a repeat. That's okay. This YouTube channel can do a replay. It will, you all. If you're just tuning in, hit that replay button. Yeah, you can do it. Y'all, please give this video a thumbs up. It's there's more to this physical world that we live in than what meets the eye, and there's more to dreams than what meets the eye. There's more to death and near-death experiences than what meets the eye, but yet that is a certain person's perception. It could be our very own perceptions of reality, and someone else may not have that perception of reality at all. They may think there's nothing more. It is what it is and let it go. Okay, I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to keep thinking that perception. And I like to hear other people's perceptions and reality without getting upset. That's right. We can do it. I'm going to go. I got a busy day. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. And I hope you have a beautiful day. I really do. And I hope you get a lot done. If you want to get stuff done, you can do it. Get that love on the inside of you. Just let that love grow. It's your frequency right there. It's your frequency. And it's your aura. You don't want a black aura because you don't got you got some dark, dark, dark stuff on the inside of you. You want that love frequency to just come out of your body. Just like, and permeate everywhere you go, the space all around you. You want it to happen. You do want it.